Lately, I have been very interested in non-English dramas, So I've been watching Chinese serials and lately Korean as well. And one of the draws is, besides the story, is that you get into a different culture that is very different from the culture that you are used to if you just stick to English serials or English movies and everything. So I've been very stoked by a whole new world that I have, explored, by virtue of crossing over the language barriers. And along with the language barrier comes a whole cultural vista, And I think that this is so fascinating for me, and I think that exploring the world, so I realized that if we just stick to English medium, we are only just being familiar with just one small corner of the whole world, So much more going on, in terms of like perspectives and that the differences and the similarities are both fascinating, like love story. It's in so many cultures, the love stories can be almost the same. Things like, so I think things like race and all that, you can transfer it to so many things like, North and South Korea or whatever, like a crash landing thing, and Middle Eastern, they've got all these political issues about and all that. So I think that, it's just another way to, language is another bridge to cultural differences. And that's why, as much as I suffered under the bilingual policy, but I really think that you lose a lot. I mean, I've lost a lot if I'm just a monolinguist. And I gain, a lot, if I knew another language. So I think that can also be applied to people of different groups, which is defined by their color. I grant that everybody may feel things differently, and who am I to say that you shouldn't feel this way? So if I'm not on the receiving end, you shouldn't feel this way, right? But then again, I think that I don't really want to judge how people feel, but I think it's also nice if someone said intention, right? I mean, it was just a bad joke, or something that was said that didn't really mean to be personally hurtful. Okay, I think that's fine. Just laugh it off. I think that's. I mean, why get worked up, over things that people don't actually mean, and they're just maybe a bit silly, yeah. So I think it's nice to how to put it. I mean, it's nice to engage with people, right? And there must be some, freedom to say certain things. Otherwise, it'd be very boring. If everything we have to say, we got to be so careful, right? Yeah, and I think we need to also give everybody a latitude to just, have a bit of don't give them so much boundary, but so that the relationship can develop. I think I would like people to be more curious, to be more interested. I mean, like if we are curious about the world around us, we'll definitely be asked, what do you think of, like, how does it feel if you are, this and that and all that. So, I think the world is so interesting and diversified, and it's nice that we don't stick to our bubble, but, explore how things are from other people's perspective. Yeah, so I think a lot of misunderstanding can be cleared if people have more understanding. It's very comfortable to stay with your own group of people who agree with you in everything. You have got no sort of nobody who is like oddball or something like that. But And so it's very comforting to be, that kind of, remain in that kind of a space. But the thing is that it is challenging when you have to get out of that comfort zone and, to talk to somebody else who's coming from a different direction. But I just feel that there's a lot of exciting things that you can learn and do in this big world. The world is very, very big, so why not step out?